Yo, what's poppin' Pokepals? Rare TCG coming at you with a brand new video. Today we are going to be showcasing Amoongus from the Black Bolt and White Flare set, which has the attack Dangerous Reaction. It does 30 damage, which is not a lot for a colorless attack, but if your opponent's active Pokemon is affected by a special condition, this attack does 120 more damage. Now you might be asking yourself, well, Rare, how are we going to get said condition onto our opponent's active Pokemon? I'm glad you asked. With the help of Volcarona, who also coincidentally came out in the Black Bolt and White Flare sets. It has the ability Torrid Scales, which once during your turn you may discard a basic Fire Energy card from your hand, and if you do, your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. We also play 3 copies of Magmortar with its Magma Surge ability, which allows our opponent to take 3 extra damage counters if they are burned in between turns, and these do stack. So if you have 3 Magmortars on the bench, your opponent is taking 120 damage counters per turn. That is absolutely insane. Plus the already 120 more damage you're doing from the Dangerous Reaction. So Amoongus racks up a lot of damage really quickly. We also, of course, play the Brave Bangle, because why not? I mean, we want to hit more damage. With just the Brave Bangle attached and burning your opponent's active EX Pokemon, you're doing 180 damage. And that's not including the damage counters from Magmortar. It racks up quick, and it is strong, let me tell you. Our A-Spec of choice is, of course, Hyper Aroma. We have a lot of stage 1s in this deck, and we want to get those out as quickly as possible. And, of course, we also play Hilda, which not only helps us find our Volcaronas, but also helps us find our Fire Energy that Volcarona needs to discard. Also, we play 10 Fire Energy. Because Amoongus uses a colorless energy for its attack cost, you can use the Fire Energy to just power up the Amoongus, which is really great, and why I like using Amoongus over other Pokemon with a similar attack like Sableye, which I did contemplate using at one point, but I felt that Amoongus was the best one. You might be asking yourself, well, Rare, why don't you just use Volcarona EX? It has the exact same ability, does it not, as Volcarona? The answer is yes and no. See, Volcarona EX only works if it's in the active spot, and then it becomes a whole rotation game of using resources for switches and jet energy and all this other annoying stuff that you really don't want to be using. And I also like Volcarona because it keeps the deck into a one prizer as opposed to putting Volcarona EX on there and then becoming a liability. All right, I'm done yapping. I think we have the gist of what this deck wants to do. Let's go see it in action. Alright, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in game 1, and we're already doing terribly as we have to take a mulligan because we did not have a basic card in our hand. It's a little better. We got Magmar, and we actually got the Air Balloon, so that's good. So we can attach that to Magmar, which will allow it to retreat. They have a Blood Moon Ursaluna in the active, which tells me that they're also struggling to get set up, which is good for us. So I think I'm just going to attach the Air Balloon and end my turn. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the Blaziken video that went up Saturday. I was supposed to record a video for Sunday, but I unfortunately never got around to it. And like I said, I was away this weekend at a retreat, so that was really fun. I just got back this morning, and okay, good, they're going to Iono us. Good, that allows me to keep my Iono in the deck. But yeah, I just got back this morning, and it was a lot of fun. Don't want to go into too much detail, but it was a ton of fun, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, I don't know what else to say about it. Okay, so we get Magmortar, but we don't really have anything else that we need. We didn't see a single Buddy-Buddy Poffin. We didn't see an Artazon, a Nest Ball, nothing. Okay, we got the Nest Ball, the Larvesta. That's a little better. Now we can start setting this up much better. So let's do all this. Let's get a Foongus down. And then I want to get another Foongus down. And then I think I'm just going to retreat into Cleffa and call it a day. So let's retreat into Cleffa and Grasping Draw. Much better. Okay. We have Fire Energy in our hand. We have the Arven, which is great. We can use Arven to get ourselves a Brave Bangle and the Aroma, which will allow us to evolve into our Amoonguss and Volcarona, or not, or forget everything I just said, because this is just Iono Central today, I guess. And we got another Iono in our hand, even better. Wow. But we did get the Volcarona, so that's good. They're going to play one copy of Earthen Vessel to try and get themselves an energy. And it looks like this is a Palafin EX deck, which I'm actually okay with. Palafin's weak to electric? Yeah, he's weak to electric. Unfortunate. If he was weak to grass, it would have been even better, but no, unfortunately. All right, so let's start off. Oh, we got the Arven. Beautiful. So let's do this. Let's put the Arven down. Let's get the Aroma, and let's get a Bangle for one of my Amoongus. Now, unfortunately, I am going to have to Iono here because I don't have an energy in my hand, and we definitely need energy. So we have Volcarona. I want one Magmortar and two Amoongus. So let's evolve these guys. One right here, and one more Magmortar. And all we need... Oh, right, we just Arven, so we can't even get the energy. Okay, so we'll just Grasping Draw and call it a day. There's the energy, good. Now, if worse comes to worse, what I kind of want to do is I kind of want to get rid of the... What's he called? Morpeko here. Because Morpeko... Wait, this is not the Morpeko I was thinking of. Yeah, no, this is Marnie's Morpeko. Usually when you see Palafin EX, you see... Oh my god, this literally is Iono Central. What is going on today? Wow. Usually when you see Palafin EX, it's... Oh, there's the Petra run. Okay, but this guy has... Oh, he does have free retreat. Oh, interesting. They got rid of a Palafin EX. That's a little strange. Okay. I know you have to have Palafin EX in the deck in order for you to... Now, the question is, how are they going to get this Palafin to evolve? Because it has to be in the active and then retreated. They are going to get the Morpeko into the active. Probably retreat it into the... No, they're going to retreat into Tatsugiri. That's a smart play. Okay. Now, too bad they Iono'd us. I would have loved to have bossed and then bossed up the Palafin and just really ruined their day. Alright, we got a Arven. That's not going to really help us though, is it? Not necessarily, no. And I actually don't even have to get rid of the Cleffa in the active. I could use Volcarona to get rid of my opponent's active. So let's just get these. And I'm going to Volcarona, getting rid of a fire energy, burning my opponent's active, attaching this to this Amoongus so he's set up. And thanks to the Night Stretcher, I could get that fire energy back next turn. But until then, I think I'm just going to Grasping Draw and draw a card. And I got another Cleffa, but that's fine. They still go down to 80 damage from fire counters, so that's great. Unfortunately now, because they can put in... Yeah, they're going to put the Palafin in the active, and then they're just going to use Petrarunt's ability, bringing the Morpeko into the active, and that will allow Palafin's ability to activate and get Palafin EX into play, which is what I was hoping to avoid, but unfortunately we just got Iono'd way too many times in this game, as you guys saw. So Palafin EX is in play. That's a problem. That is one of the beefiest EXs in the format right now. And I don't know why they attached 2 energy. I mean, I guess they could retreat it now. That's fine. They are going to boss. But, oh, they're going to boss up the Volcarona. They're getting onto my plan here, guys. We do have the other Larvesta in our hand, though, so that's not too worrisome. The problem now is I have to waste a turn because I can't swing at this thing. So I'm just going to promote the Cleffa, put the Larvesta down, and hope for the best. Wow, 500 damage. That's a lot. Alright, let's promote the Cleffa. And I still have the Night Stretcher, but I kind of wanted to save it for the energy, but, you know, minor setback. Oh, we got an energy. Okay, let's put that on you. And I think I'm good. How many cards do I have in my hand? 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, Grasping Draw isn't even going to work. Alright, let's just end turn. Now, Palafin EX is able to attack again this turn, despite what its attack says, because they could just play merry-go-round with the Pecharunt. And they also have Baby Palafin. Oh, interesting. Okay. So with this, I keep wanting to say Monkey Dory for some reason. With this Morpeko, they could keep retreating back and forth, back and forth. Alright, so because I don't want to use my Night Stretcher just yet, I kind of want to save it for the Fire Energies. I'm going to use Arven and try and get a Volcarona. We get a boss. Hold on now. Because I can get rid of this Pecharunt, which I think is the bigger issue here. And I think that's actually what I'm going to do. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get rid of the Pecharunt, because he's the bigger threat right now. Because he's the one holding everybody up. So let's do that. Let's get myself another Foongus. Unfortunately, I can't set him up because I need this Fire Energy. I'm going to boss up this Pecharunt. And I can actually take this thing out with just Amoongus. Even though it is not dealing double damage. 180 plus the other 80, doing 260 damage, guys. That is crazy for a little Amoongus. And that puts us ahead in the prize trade, getting us yet another Fire Energy. Great. They are going to promote the Pheasantipity, and that's probably going to get them another Pecharunt. Yes, sir. All right. I've only used one boss, correct. I like to play only two in my decks. I really should start playing more because of how often I boss things up, but this deck is so, like, it's so tightly packed, you know what I mean? So I really need to be frugalist with my bossing. They are going to get the Baby Palafin in the active, which doesn't do as much as Palafin EX, but it is a one prizer, and that's not a good thing for us. So let's just promote my Amoongus. Let's use Arven to thin a little. We got another Air Balloon, so I'm going to attach that right to this Magmortar. That way, in case they boss him up, I can retreat him. So let's get another one of these, and let's get one of these. I think that's all I want to do. Let's use the Artazon to get myself another Foongus on the bench. Like so. And then I'm going to evolve this little guy. Attach this here. And I need another Fire Energy in my hand because I'm going to attach it to this guy so he's set up for next turn, because you know this guy's going down next turn. And let's just swing at this guy. Nice. Unfortunately, we didn't get the other boss, which would have been nice, but it is what it is. Even on a single prizer like that Palafin, it still did 150 damage, so I'm not complaining at all. And we get a Professor's Research, which is really nice. We could still win the prize trade here because they have two prizes in play while we only have one prizers in the entire deck. So that's exactly why I didn't want to put Volcarona EX into this deck, because God forbid I had Volcarona EX, he's just a liability. He gets bossed up, he gets counter-catchered, he's the active Pokemon when I can't find the Pokemon that I need in setting up. He can't get retreated by an Air Balloon. I mean, he's more of a hindrance than he is anything else. Hence why I've been using Volcarona instead of Volcarona. Alright, so my opponent can just retreat straight into Palafin. Now, ideally, all I need is a boss and we win. Oh, and an energy. That's the other problem. We need a boss and an energy, and I can't get two things at once right now. They are going to put down the Fez, allowing them to flip the script, getting them 3 more cards. And my opponent is doing a lot for very little. I say very little in the sense that we already know what the game plan is here. Like, they didn't have to put that Gravity Mountain down. I do not play a single Stage 2 in this deck, so that does absolutely nothing for that. Here comes the Giga Impact, taking out my Amoongus. I think what I want to do is I want to promote this Foongus, evolve it, and keep this guy with the Brave Bangle in the back. That way, I save him for later. We didn't get anything that we needed. Alright, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to swing at this thing just because we can. And because we're out of Foongus in the deck, we could put this Magmar down and just get him set up. So let's just do some damage here, weakening the Palafin EX. Putting on 280 damage. Do they get the tails? They do, but unfortunately they could just bring up the Morpeko. Alright, so we are setting ourselves up for endgame here. All we have to do is get ourselves an energy with Iono. We have 5 in the discard, 6, 7. And that means we have 3 energies still left in our deck. They have to retreat this Palafin, which of course they're going to do, because, I mean, that's the whole point of this deck. They're going to boss up Volcarona once again. That is not good. Bossing up that Volcarona was such a dagger. Oh, and that's our last Volcarona, guys. They're going to bring up Blood Moon Ursaluna. Really? Interesting. Why did they do that? Was that a misclick? They can't attack because they need at least 1 energy attack to attach to Blood Moon Ursaluna. I don't know. Was that a misclick, or are they just trying to flex right now? I don't think they want to. No, they don't have anything. Wow. What do I want to do here? Because I've only wasted 2 Night Stretchers. I could Arven. Nope, that's not what I want to do. I think what I want to do is I want to Arven. Get myself a Night Stretcher. And then just use Volcarona's ability to put some damage counters onto this Ursaluna. That way we soften everything up. Unfortunately, I could not retreat the Volcarona, but still taking 110 damage just because of Magmortar alone. And they get tails, so they have to retreat this thing. Wow. So I've softened up both the Ursaluna and the Palafin EX. That's crazy. I don't understand. I can see why they didn't put the Palafin in the active. They didn't want to risk taking damage because it has how much HP? 110. And we're only hitting for 60 without a burn. So I really don't know why they didn't just bring up the Palafin. They could have won. They do have the energy attached to Ursaluna. They're going to retreat back into Ursaluna probably. Nope, they're going to retreat into Palafin. All right. I probably could have just went into this Amoongus and did damage and kept the Volcarona alive by retreating it, but at that point it's kind of pointless. And it looks like we unfortunately are going to take an L in this first matchup, which is really a shame because, I mean, we got Iono'd like 7 times in this game. If we didn't get Iono'd so many times, we might have been able to do something, but unfortunately, I am just going to swing for 60 and that they're going to survive with 50 HP left. So that is very unfortunate for us, but I did get a good chance to showcase what the deck is capable of doing. It's just that this Palafin EX got everything that it needed and then some, and then it bossed us up twice, which also didn't help. That's unfortunate, but it was an all in all good showcasing, so I can't be too upset. On to game 2. Here we are in game number 2. We have a better start this time around. At least we have a Foongus. And we have Magmar in our hand, which isn't bad. Now I saw, oh, they're playing Cynthia's Garchomp, it looks like. Okay, interesting. And we got a Amoongus in our hand, even better. With the Professor's Research, I mean, I'm not happy about that because I'm going to have to get rid of a boss, but I got to do what I got to do. Now, I did notice during the lineup, I don't know what you'd call it, like before the game starts when you see your 2 avatars, I did notice that my opponent is in Chingling rank, so they are a new player. Either that or they haven't played in a while. So that should be interesting to see how this goes down. I do notice that though, if you lose a matchup on PTCGL, they will give you lowered ranked opponents. I don't know why that is. I guess it's out of pity. I don't know, but yeah, that is what it is. Also, I want to make a huge shout out. While I was away on my retreat this weekend, I was checking my comments on my videos and whatnot, and I saw that somebody said, hey Rare, why didn't you put the Sacred Ash into your Iron Thorns deck that you did a few days ago? And I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I forgot all about that card. I forgot it existed because nobody plays it. So I did some editing on my own and I put the Sacred Ash into the Iron Thorns and it is much more consistent. I like it a lot better with the Sacred Ash. So if you are using the Iron Thorns deck that I posted a couple days ago, you can replace some of the Super Rods with Sacred Ash, or you could be like me and just replace all of your Super Rods with Sacred Ash. Okay, they are putting down Team Rocket's Watchtower. That's usually not a stadium that you see with Cynthia's deck, so that's interesting. They're going to swing here for 20, which I expected them to. And let's see what we get off the top deck. We get a Brave Bangle. I'll attach that. Let's evolve. Let's evolve. Unfortunately, we are not doing enough damage right now because we have nothing set up. We got another Foongus. That's good. Let me get a Larvesta. Start setting that up. And, we do hit for weakness, though. That's good. So I think I'm just going to swing and hit for 60. And see how my opponent retaliates. So yeah, thank you guys so much for the support you've been giving this channel with the commenting, the subscribing, the liking. It really goes a long way and it means so much to me. So thank you guys so much. It's not easy coming up with decks, especially ones that people are not familiar with. I mean, I could just go on the ladder right now and go, oh, I'm going to play Zoroark EX, or I'm going to play Dragapult EX, or Charizard EX, you know, the ones that everybody knows. But at the same time, it's like, I'm doing something unique and different, and I don't always get it right the first time. I may not even get it right the second time. But that's where you guys come in. You guys give me tips, and you give me suggestions, and I do read every comment that you guys leave. I may not get back to it immediately, but I do get back to it at some point. So I am reading the comment sections. I am actually implementing the things that you're telling me, and yes, I look forward to them every time. All right, they're using Arven. They're certainly getting themselves a rare candy right now to evolve this Gibble into Garchomp. Yep, and they got the tool card that allows them to do whatever it is that they gotta do. All right, we are in a bit of a pickle right now because we don't have Volcarona. They're gonna get a whole new hand. Yeah, we need a lot of stuff right now. We are going to, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to promote the Magmortar, attach the Air Balloon, and giving it free retreat. Then I'm going to use Artazon to get myself a Cleffa and really get this ball rolling. All right, we got the energy. That's good. We can attach that to Foongus. Let's get myself a Cleffa. Right there. I'm going to attach this to Magmortar. Call me crazy. I'm going to Ultra Ball. Getting myself the Volcarona because we absolutely need that. And then I'm going to Cleffa for Cleffa's full potential right now. So let's retreat into the Cleffa and Grasping Draws for 6. Or 7, I'm sorry. Okay, a little better. Still not the hand I need though. I need, actually it is the hand I need. I was gonna say I might need a Brave Bangle, but I just remember I'm hitting for weakness. So yeah, this is fine. They are gonna, most likely gonna use their Godbite to get themselves 2 more Garchomps and get those set up. So my opponent has a phenomenal start. Cynthia's deck is so consistent, it's actually absurd how consistent it is. Oh darn, I was gonna use that too. I'm just trying to figure out why they're using the Watchtower. That's not a stadium you normally see. And I don't understand why they're also using that, because the Artazon also benefited them. So if I were them, I would have kept it. I'm not playing a single normal type Pokemon, so this stadium does absolutely nothing for myself or them. I'm not quite sure why they're insistent on using that stadium. All right, they're finally going to attack here. They do not draw. We're going to bring up the Amoongus, and we are going to slam this Garchomp, taking it out for 2 prizes. So okay, we got another Buddy-Buddy. Let's put down this guy. Let's put down that guy. I am not going to attach the energy because I do need that energy for Volcarona's ability. Burning him and hitting for 300 damage, and then with the burn damage, that is enough to take out the Garchomp. Just barely. Wow. Thank God for weakness. We take our first 2 prize cards here. We get another Larvesta and another Fire Energy. Beautiful. So we have secured 2 Fire Energies as long as we do not get hand disrupted right now. We can attach this Fire Energy to this little Foongus, evolve him into Amoongus, and then we can use Hilda to get ourselves another Fire Energy and another Amoongus for this little Foongus. So not only can we set up by attaching to Amoongus, but we can also get rid of a Fire Energy and slam whatever they decide to promote here. Most likely the Garchomp, because they are going to evolve. There it is. And take us out. And this is why I love that this deck is a single prize deck, because we win the prize exchange every time. I do want to actually set up this Larvesta though, because God forbid it's a repeat of the last game. I don't want to have just one Volcarona on the bench waiting in the wings. So let's definitely make sure that we set up this Larvesta this time. They are going to boss us up, and they boss up the Volcarona. Yep, there it is. This is exactly what I was just talking about. I didn't want to have another situation like the last game, but here we are. Once again, Volcarona is a victim of being attacked. The good thing is oh wait, yeah, no, they can take us out because of Roserade. I forgot about that. They do 30 extra damage. That's just enough to take out Volcarona. Damn. All right. That's a bit of a shame. And they are going to get another Roserade, definitely securing themselves a KO against my Volcarona. So now I have to waste a turn setting up my Larvesta, and that means that I have to swing with this Amoongus, unfortunately. There's the attack, hitting for 160. Are they going to draw? I don't see why they wouldn't. Yeah, they're going to draw. And unfortunately, we are back to a similar scenario that we had in the first game. Unless what I want to do is promote this little Foongus. I might just do that and let him go down. Because it doesn't make any sense for me to... Nope. It doesn't make any sense for me to promote something and then let it go down. So I think that's what I want to do. Let's evolve this Magmar. Let's use Arven. Because next turn I will use everything else that I need. Let's get this here. Let's attach to this guy. And let's get myself Volcarona and Amoongus just to thin a little bit. And I don't want to evolve. Or do I want to evolve? No, because I'm only going to be hitting for 60. Correct? Correct. Maybe I should have promoted. Maybe I should have put that. No. Nah, just leave it. Just leave it as it is. If anything, we could Night Stretcher for a Foongus and then evolve it into a Amoongus. But I think I made the right call here. I think. Oh boy, they Iono'd us. That's not good. However, we did get a Arven, so let's see. Yeah, we have 2 Night Stretchers in the deck. So we can Night Stretcher for the Volcarona, and we got 2 energies in our hand, which is even better. So actually they did me a favor with that Iono. Thank you. So let me promote this Amoongus with the Brave Bangle. And I'm going to Arven for... Hold on real quick. Let's attach that there. Let's Arven for the Night Stretcher. And, oh, I prize my Brave Bangles, unfortunately. And I think that's all I want to do. I think I just want to get that going. So let's Night Stretcher for the Volcarona. And you guys didn't see it because I made a cut because of how long they were taking. But I don't actually think they have another Garchomp in their deck because they used the Champion's Call, and I thought they were going to get themselves another Garchomp, but actually what they did was they got themselves another Gabite, which I thought was weird, which tells me they might not actually have another Garchomp in their deck. And look at that, guys. We just one-shot a Garchomp with a single prizer, which is absolutely insane. There's my other Brave Bangle. Now, we do need another energy. How many energies do we have in the deck? We have 4 in the discard, 2 here, that's 6. So we have 4 left in the deck, assuming none of them are prized. and we have the Brave Bangle. So if we don't get bossed this turn, and they don't take out my Volcarona, we just win. Because they can't really do anything. I mean, Roserade can't attack, correct? No, it needs Grass Energy, and this deck does not play Grass Energy. They are going to Petrol for what? Probably a means to recover that Garchomp, but that's good that they use Petrol because that means that they can't boss up our Volcarona. We are safe in that department. They're going to get a Super Rod. I knew that they were going to get a way to get Garchomp. And now they're going to Champion's Call to get the Garchomp, and that will allow them to take out the Amoongus. Alright, I see exactly what their game plan is, but it does not matter. We have game in hand. They can't Iono us because they've already used their supporter, and they can't boss up our Volcarona, and they can't counter catcher because we are tied in prizes. Alright, so they did exactly as I thought they were going to do. They used the Super Rod to get themselves the Gibble and the Garchomp back, and then they got themselves the Garchomp, and I don't know how they got the Gibbles on the bench. I wasn't even really paying attention, but anyway, we got exactly what I said was going to happen. So all we need now is a Fire Energy, and we win. Unfortunately, we did not top deck it, so now we have to play around with this. Let's just get the Cleffa out for digging purposes, and let's just Professor's Research. 1 energy, it's all we need. There it is. Okay, that's game. Nice. So we're going to use Volcarona's ability, burning the Garchomp, using our attack for 360 damage, and then with the 2 Magmortars on the bench, we do... Oh, they didn't even have the item attached. Never mind. All right, that was game. Oh, we had 1 prize. Wow, that was really close then, because that was my last energy in the deck. Wow. All right, let's go on to a final game 3. All right, game 3, coming in hot. We got ourselves a Foongus, and we have ourselves a Nest Ball. Unfortunately, I would have much rather preferred a Buddy-Buddy, getting myself another Foongus and a Larvesta, but we will roll with the punches. Now, what do I want to do here? Let's just see what my opponent's playing right now. It's another Cynthia's Garchomp. Interesting. Okay, so let me use my Nest Ball, get myself a... Do I want a Larvesta? Yes, I want to get this thing rolling as soon as possible. And I think I'm just going to end it there. I have the Amoongus in my hand. I could use the Ultra Ball to get myself a Volcarona. But then the problem becomes I don't have anything after that. I don't have any energy. I have nothing. Why did they just... They're going to retreat, that's why. Okay, I was like so confused for a second. I was like, what the heck? I think they saw that they were weak to grass and they were like, nope, I'm out of here. Kofu, interesting. I'm ragging on Kofu all the time on my channel, but I honestly think there is some potential for him. They're going to get themselves the Dark Energy back, but they can't attach it this turn because they've already attached from hand. And now they get the Escape Board. I know they're salty about that. Although, in all honesty, I would not have attached that to the Monkey Dory. I mean, to the Gibble. I would have attached it to the Monkey Dory. Let's get rid of an Air Balloon and a Magmortar. Let's get ourselves the Volcarona. We did top deck an Iono. I love that. Love that for me. Let's attach that there, and let's do this. Well, I need 2 energy, 2 energy, 2. There we go. We got 2 energy, just what I needed. So let's attach that there. Let's do one of these. That will be enough to take out Monkey Dory, doing 150 damage. Nice. Hopefully I Iono'd them into a bad hand, and we can really get this going. And there's my Artazon. Perfect. So I definitely want to set up another Larvesta, assuming my Amoongus doesn't get knocked out right now. Alright, they did promote the Roselia, but I think they're AFK, to be honest with you, because it took them way too long to make that decision, and I don't think they would want to promote the Roselia. Oh, maybe they would. Maybe I'm just I'm just incorrect about what I'm talking about, so don't even listen to me. Also, while I'm waiting for my opponent to make a decision, I might as well say, the biggest counter to this deck out of everything is the booster energy capsule that the ancient Pokemon use, because that completely prevents them from being statused. And the whole point of this deck is you want to status your opponent with Volcarona so that Amoongus is doing more damage. That's just, I just thought I'd put that out there for anybody who wants to try out this deck. Just so you know. Alright, now, Boss's orders would be phenomenal. Aw, try to put it out there into the universe, but universe did not want to listen. Let's get another Larvesta set up because we need to. We could still knock out this Roselia, so I don't know why they bothered putting that. What's this thing called again? Power Weight. I don't know why they bothered putting that on there. So let's just do this so we can take out their Roselia. Then I'm going to Iono because I saw they had Garchomp in their hand. That will get us the other Volcarona that we need. Very nice. And let's just swing for 150, taking out this Roselia. Alright, so we are doing very well right now. And the fact that they are weak to grass has not come up yet in this matchup. So that's good. Unfortunately, I did waste a bench space with the Cleffa, because I could have used bench space to put another Magmar down, but it is what it is. Alright, so the champions called with the God Bite, allowing themselves to get their Garchomp back, and then they just detached the rescue board, allowing them to retreat their Spiritomb, knocking out my Amoongus with their second attack. They could not use the first attack because that would not have been enough to knock out the Amoongus without the Roserade. Alright, that's not terrible, because now I could just do this. Unfortunately, I cannot use Arven to get me the Aroma because I need an energy. I need 2 energies. And I got, wow, I literally got everything I needed just now. Okay, so let's do this. Let's attach my energy. Let's do this. And let's take out the Garchomp. And it's GG's from this point, guys. They cannot make a comeback. I've gotten them. I've taken way too many prize cards at this point in the game for them to come back. They could set up all the Garchomps they want, but I could one-shot all of them. And they do not have the means to take 5 prize cards by the time it's going to take for me to take 2 of theirs. Whether it is me taking 2 single prizers or me taking out another EX. Interesting that they're playing Frostlass in this deck, though. I haven't seen that. I've never seen Frostlass with Cynthia. That's interesting. Okay, they're going to set up another Gibble. Getting ready for another Garchomp. They're going to discard Frostlass, even though they have the snow. I really don't know what they're doing here, but okay. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to see how it plays out. They're going to promote the Snorunt. Okay, so the Snorunt is just death fodder at this point. They don't really want to use it. They see... Actually, if I were them, I probably would have used it because Volcarona is the biggest threat to them. And if I get a Magmortar down, which I do plan on doing, then that's even more of a threat to them. I don't even need Magmortar, in all honesty. I could just Ultra Ball... Oh, okay. They're gonna... Do they have the energy, though? They have the TM Evo, but do they have the energy? And an Artazon. Probably for another Gibble. No, Roselia. Okay, that's fine. They don't have the energy. Okay, that's unfortunate for them. Yeah, we are running away with this game, guys. It is not looking good for my opponent. And... just to add a little salt to the wound, I'm going to get myself a Magmortar. And do this. Very nice. And then we could do this, taking out the Snorunt. Unfortunate that I had to waste that, but I did. I think if the initial damage were 60 plus, and then it did 90 more damage, I think it would have been a better move, in all honesty. Because 30 damage for one colorless on a stage 1 just ain't it, Chief. I mean, I get it goes up to 150 when they're status, but getting that status is sometimes the issue. They get the Garchomp, but like I said, it is far too late for them to act on this. So they might just be hoping that I don't have an energy in my hand, which will, prevent them from being knocked out, but we do have the energy. All right, so this was another good showcasing for the deck. Just gonna do this, getting myself a fire energy. I'm gonna do this, getting myself another fire energy just to show them that I had means of attacking. And we're just gonna knock out this Roselia and call it a day. Unfortunate that we ran into 2 Cynthias for this video, but I can't really control what I match into. But we won, so I'll take it. That is going to do it for the Amoonguss deck. I had a lot of fun with this deck. Like I said, the biggest counter for this card is using ancient booster capsules on ancient Pokemon. That's the biggest counter that this deck has. The other counter that I see with this deck is finding energy. Like, I play 10 energy, but at the same time, it's like it becomes difficult. So if I were you and I wanted to use this deck, what I might do is I might just get rid of these 2 Professor's Researches, add in a 4th Iono, and then add in an Earthen Vessel Ruin. Just 1, because I don't think you really need more than that. Where's my Earthen Vessel? Add an Earthen Vessel Ruin, and I think that should help with the energies situation. Especially like when you just put up a fresh new Amoonguss and you're trying to find another energy for Volcarona. Yeah, it could be a little tedious. So I'm going to leave the deck list like that, and hopefully that helps you guys. If not, keep it the way that it is. But that's just my opinion. Again, you can use Volcanion, but then it becomes a liability. You have to add the jet energies, you have to add the switches. I mean, it's not impossible, but I just wanted to use the Volcarona because it is the newer card. I wanted to keep this a single prize deck and whatnot, but that was my thought process. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the Amoonguss. Is it good? Is it worth using? If you don't want to use Amoonguss, the other Pokemon you can use is Sableye here. He has the Unseen Claw, which does 90 damage, which isn't as much as Amoonguss. It's not hitting the big numbers like Amoonguss does, but it is a basic, so it gets set up a lot easier. The only problem is it is a dark energy as opposed to Amoonguss, which is a colorless, hence why I went with Amoonguss, but that's just it. All right, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, make sure to leave it a like. If you want to see more wacky decks like this one, make sure to subscribe. And thank you all for tuning in. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.